Something about the classic sound of that single overhead cam 754 Honda breathing through that properly tuned set of carbs and Kirker 4-in-1 exhaust. This thing's straight up badass. Once in a blue moon, we'll get a bike in. That was a lifelong love affair with the owner. The guy, Peter Johansson, who owned this bike, only sold it due to old age. He bought it in 1979 when the bike was brand new. So it has absolutely been well cared for its entire life, and very, very few miles on the bike. It has 16,000 original miles. Very few of these single overhead cam 750s survived in this kind of condition, and this one's been given a lot of love and attention. As you can obviously see, and some of the stuff you can't see, I'll get into that in a second here, but this 750F 78 Super Sport is the one. Thoroughly serviced, just been completely refreshed, brand new paint job on that. I'll have Dean explain the paint job because it's not your average paint job on here. It's a world-class paint job. The paint scheme is original factory paint scheme and graphics. The Dyna electronic ignition was installed for performance and reliability. It has the 4-in-1 Kirker carburetor. The carburetors are completely 4-in-1 Kirker header, and the carburetors were completely rebuilt by the Manic mechanic himself. He micro drilled the pilot jets and set it up and jetted it for the Kirker 4-in-1 exhaust, so it runs far better than it ever did brand new. So one owner since 1979, clean title in hand. It's got brand new spark plugs, brand new spark plug claps, new UASA battery, new Dyna electronic ignition. Ignition timing has been set. The carburetor is completely removed, disassembled, and clean. Set the fuel screws. The carbs were tuned and synchronized. It has new carb to airbox boots. If you look, you'll see the boots are brand new. The fuel tank was drained, flushed, cleaned, and inspected. It has fresh VP94 non-ethanol fuel. The engine oil is new. The front brake caliper was cleaned and honed. The rear brake caliper was cleaned and honed. The brakes were flushed, and new Motul DOT4 fluid was installed. Brand new Bridgestone Battle Axe BT46 front tire. Look at the hairy nubs on that bad boy. And also the rear tire was done. The chain is a new EK 630, massive 630 O-ring final drive chain. New fuel tank badges. The left side cover is brand new, and that's been painted. And the side cover emblems are new. As you can see, one's missing from the other side. We're not sure what happened, but when it was in a detail shop, one of the badges ended up disappearing. So we have another one order. They'll have another matching badge on the other side when you come to pick it up. The seat, take a look at that seat, guys. That's a brand new, completely brand new seat. Seat base, seat cover, seat foam, brand spanking new. New OEM seat hinge, and the rear seat cowl on the back there, that's brand new also and been professionally painted. Has a new turn signal flasher relay, a new neutral light instrument bulb, and it's been given a full 100% top to bottom nut and bolt check over. Bike's been steam cleaned, hand washed, degreased. All the chrome and aluminum on it's been polished. The paint is all brand new. It's a fantastic classic. It's ready to go. So if you have any questions about it, give us a call. I think I pretty much covered anything. Anything I left out, I will put in the eBay ad where it's going up for auction. As you walk around, you can see it's an absolutely stunning piece. The paint job's off the hook. I guess with that, I'll segue into handing the mic over to Dean, because this paint job is worthy of description by the guy, the master painter who did it. Dean, tell us exactly what you did here.
So as far as the tank, that was stripped back to bare metal. And as I was stripping it back from a previous non-OEM color scheme, as I was stripping it back, one of the layers was the original paint with the original decals. So I was able to take pictures and some measurements for the placement of the decal, which is important. So after a bare metal strip, it gets a coat of epoxy primer, 2 coats of high build primer, a coat of base, or 2 coats of base, the black. And once that cures up overnight, I will lay out the decal and apply the decal. And after the decal is applied, it gets 2 coats of clear. Let that set up for approximately, give or take, 24, 36 hours. And it gets wet sanded with 1000 grit to a flat finish. And it gets 2 more coats of clear on top of the previous 2 coats, which it adds more protection, more depth to the paint, buries the decals, and it really just gives a nicer finish. A flow coat is what that's called, and it looks really good over the decals.
When Justin rolled up with this today and the sun was gleaming off the paint job and the Kirker header, I said to myself, this is the nicest 78, 74 I've seen since 78. It's freaking absolutely gorgeous. How many layers of paint total is that?
Well, you've got your I think we counted, I think that's 9 coats of product from the first coat of epoxy primer, which is used to seal the bare metal, your 2 coats of high build, 2 coats of base, and the 4 coats of clear total. So I think, if my math is right, I think we're at 9 coats there.
It's freaking absolutely beautiful. The engine's been repainted also. The covers, all the chrome has been polished, and it's beautiful. Again, we'll have the badge on the other side before the bike ships. We offer shipping. We can handle the shipping for you and also financing your house. And this is a bike I would be happy to leave on display in the museum Honda section over the winter if you want to store it to spring. Just ask. We'd be honored to keep it here. It is truly a museum quality, classic 1978 single overhead cam. Justin, one of our ATECs here, is, I'll just straight up say he's a single overhead cam expert. He knows more about these than I probably ever will. Has a turbocharged single overhead cam 750, and grew up with a neighbor who had how many sandcasts?
4 sandcasts and over 40 CB750s.
So there you go. So he grew up, and I think that sparked his love for these to this day. So Justin, what other features are significant about this 78?
Yeah, so this is called an F2 model, and this is a 1 to 2 year only model. And what's significant about this is it has factory dome pistons actually, and it has a different head which contours the dome pistons. It has a larger combustion chamber, oversized valves from the factory, and a unique camshaft grind as well. You could see stamped on the head, well, it'd be hard to see on video, but in the center of the head, it's stamped 410. And you can actually see 410 on these intake rubber boots too. So that'll let you know that it is a 410 series engine. These were factory hot rod engines, as people like to call them, and this is the engine to build. Actually, I have this same head on my turbocharged bike, so it's the way to go if you're building a performance bike. And yeah, it's only 1 to 2 year only. The last of the 78s before they moved on to the 79s down there.
And if you look at that bike, I think it's worthy of walking down and take a look, and you can explain the differences. But I don't think that engine looks nearly as cool as the original. This looks like a real classic muscle bike, super bike engine. The double overhead cam doesn't have that same vibe, but those carbs look absolutely spectacular. Did you do the carbs in this, or did the Manic Mechanic?
The Manic Mechanic did.
They look freaking beautiful. They look like the fit and finish on them. They look brand new from here. Kirker looks beautiful. The engine cases, everything's really, really nice. And guys, back to what I originally said. Same owner since 79. 16,000 miles. Only sold it because he aged out. If you're looking for an investment quality single overhead cam last year, and with all the unique features that Justin mentioned, not to mention, where are you gonna get a paint job like that? You're not going to, unless you have a high-end paint shop near you, and will they know how to do the graphics like Dean does? I don't know, but this one's done. So hit the buy it now or miss out. There's not gonna be another one this nice coming down the pike. Before we jump off this one, I want to show you the first year of this is the first year of the double overhead cam, and the whole bike looks completely different, mainly because of the, in my opinion, the heads. But what are your thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, they're a very similar looking bike, same paint scheme almost, but they are, you know, fairly different. They have the same wheels, but the engine is completely different on this 79 model. They switched to the dual cam. They're a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit more modern of an engine, but they both have their unique features, and they make similar power. The dual cam makes a little bit more power. It has the constant velocity carburetors in it, which is a different, little bit of a different feel to get used to. For this, they also made the twin disc brakes in the front standard.
So it's definitely gonna be a little bit heavier
Yes.
bike. It has a completely different tailpiece, seat, and side covers, which give it a much more modern look. That's what I talked about. Like when that thing rolled up the driveway, it just exudes sex appeal. It looks like, well, it's the first era of super bikes. This was the 69 750 was the first of the Honda Superbike engines, and this is the last year you could get it, 78, and it has a lot of significant upgrades. So it's a dime piece, definitely a beauty. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.